Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my obeisances. Excuse the interruption, but your mic is muted.
Okay. So that. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaste Narottama Devim Saraswati Vyasa Tatu Jaya Mudiraya. Nastapa Yesu Abhadyasu Nitya Bhagavati Sevaya. Bhagavati Uttama Suke Bhakti Bhavayati Namaste. So Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 18, Text 8. Title of this chapter is Residents of Jampadvip Offer Prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Narasimhaya Namaste Jase Jase Habira Vibhava Vrajanaka Vrajamsa Kamasaya Randhaya Randhaya Tamgrasa Grasa Om Swaha Abhayam Abhayam Atmani Bhuyastaha Om Sram. Word for word translation. Om, O Lord. Namaha, my respectful obeisances. Bhagavate, unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Narasimhaya, known as Lord Nrsimha. Namaha, obeisances. Teja Tejas, the power of all power. Avibhava, please be fully manifest. Rajanaka, O you who possesses nails like thunderbolts. Rajadamsra, O you who possesses teeth like thunderbolts. Kamahasayan, demoniac desires to be happy by material activities. Randaya, Randaya, kindly vanquish. Tamaha, ignorance in the material world. Grasa, kindly drive away. Grasa, kindly drive away. Om, O my Lord. Swaha, respectful oblations. Abhayam, fearlessness. Abhayam, fearlessness. Atmani, in my mind. Puhistaha, may you appear. Om, O Lord. Shram, the beach or seed of mantras, offering prayers to Lord Nrsimha. So translation, I offer my respectful obeisances. Translation and purport by His Divine Graces, confound Acharya. Selasi Bhakti Vedanta Swami Papa Maharaj Keja. Srila Prabhupada Keja. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Lord Nrsimha Dev, the source of all power. O my Lord, who possesses nails and teeth just like thunderbolts, kindly vanquish our demoniac desires for fruitive activity in this material world. Please appear in our hearts and drive away our ignorance, so that by your mercy we may become fearless in the struggle for existence in this material world. Can we respond to it? I offer my respectful obeisances unto Lord Nrsimha Dev, the source of all power. O my Lord, who possesses nails and teeth, just like thunderbolts, kindly vanquish our demoniac desires for fruitive activity in this material world. Please appear in our hearts and drive away our ignorance, so that by your mercy we may become fearless in the struggle for existence in this material world. purport. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, chapter 22, text 39, Sanat Kumara speaks the following. Sanat Kumara speaks the following words to Maharaj Prithu. Yat pada pankaja palasa vilas bhaktya kamasayam gattita ugratayanti santaha. Tadvam narikta matayo yatayo piruda. Strota ganasta aranam vajavasudevam. Translation. Devotees always engaged in the service of the Lord's lotus feet can very easily become free. Have not a desire for fruitive activities, because this is very difficult. The non-devotees, the jnanis and yogis, cannot stop the waves of sense gratification, although they try to do so. Therefore, you are advised to engage in the devotional service of Krishna, the son of Vasudeva. Every living being within this material world has a strong desire to enjoy matter in its fullest satisfaction. For this purpose, the conditioned soul must accept one body after another. And thus, he strongly fixed fruitive desires continue. One cannot stop the repetition of death and that without being completely desired your devotional service as follows. Anya de la sunyam, jnana kama di anabrita, anuglena Krishna no, silana bhakti utam. Translation. One should render transcendental loving service to the Supreme Lord Krishna favorably without desire for material profit or gain through fruitive activities or philosophical speculation. That is called pure devotional service. Unless one is completely free from all material desires, which are caused by the dense darkness of ignorance, one cannot fully engage in the devotional service of the Lord. Therefore, we should always offer our prayers to Lord Srimad, who killed Kasipu, the personification of material desire. Hiranya means gold, and Kasipu means a soft cushion or bed. Materialistic persons always desire to make the body comfortable. And for this, they require huge amounts of gold. God, Kasipu, was a perfect representative of materialistic life. He was therefore the cause of great disturbance to the topmost devotee, Prahlad Maharaj, until Lord Nrsimhadev killed him. And the devotee, aspiring to be free of material, should offer his respectful prayers. Any devotee aspiring to be free from material should offer his respectful prayers to Nrsimhadev, as Prahlad did in this verse. Again, to me, given to Nasalakaya, Saxon Militan, Jane to Spain, Siguravian. So, Jaytime and all this time, Safi, Tam, Tale, Swam group from Kadamaya, Kadati Swap, Tanka. Pandasi Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda Sabuduto, go to hide for one to cheat to Chabaton. Among Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pista Bhutali, Simata Bhaktivedanta, Swami Hitinam, Namaste, Saraswati Deva, Gauravana, Charina, never says it's on your body, person to the star. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sita Dvita, Gatara, Sita Sada, Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Panchakalpatarikacha, Kripasan Vyayavacha, Patitanam Pava, People Vaishnava Yoga. So, welcome to this morning one in class. This is part of our social spiritual culture, coming together, parties. The motive of the party is to be enlightened in Krishna consciousness. So many parties that go on every day. But we also do the party. But when we come together, is to enlighten one another about how to become extricated from the shackles of sense gratification. You know, the whole text about how to become free from sense gratification. And perhaps, you know, this is one of my favorite. This is one of my favorite verses in the Bhagavatam. You know, but that comes to render this type of so deeply rooted prayers, such a devotional prayer. But what is he saying? He's begging the Lord. I mean, in another verse, Prahlad said, "You are Bhakta Vasala. I am, you know, I'm an eternally conditioned soul in this world. I can't help myself. I'm a conditioned soul. My interest is to placate the urges of my senses." So Prahlad says, "Please, my Lord, help me to help to distribute this knowledge, to help to spread your message." Why is Prahlad praying like that? He could have just said, "My Lord, please give me liberation. I'm just tired of this material world. It's hellish here, my Lord. Get me out from this place." No, he says, empower me to help in spreading a message. I don't feel comfortable. I'm not feeling happy. Why? Because I see so much of suffering going on. The same thing with Narada Muni. Why is Narada Muni the dearmost son of Lord Brahma? Lord Brahma himself asserted that in his prayers, in the what they call in Sringa Kavacha, the two Sringa Kavachas. One is recited by Prahlad. The one of Lord Brahma is about 26 verses, and it's so sophisticated. And in the very beginning of those verses, Lord Brahma said, because Narada was inquiring from Lord Brahma, what is this great fortune, this great mantra, this powerful invocation that Lord Indra was able to conquer his enemies? Tell me something like that. So, in response, Lord Brahma said, Sunu Narada, Rakshami, my dear Narada, listen to me. He described Narada as the best of his sons. Why? Because he has that wealth of bhakti. Why? Because Narada goes about spreading the message of God in the entire cosmic creation. Why Narada has to do that? Because even Lord Krishna mentions in the Gita that there is no one more dear to him than he who is helping to spread his message. We want to love Krishna. We want to love Krishna. We want to be dear to love Krishna. This is the secret. So, Prahlad is praying. He recognizes that the material world is a dense, it's a lump of dense ignorance. This is also what we say, oh my Jnana Timirandasya, Jnana Jana Salak. I was born in the darkest region of ignorance. The same implication, the same meaning. We're born in this world and we get pampered. In the womb, this jiva having to undergo so many disturbances. He prays to the Lord, to the super soul at the point. He's seeing, perceiving the super soul directly. They are communicating. He says, please get me out from this mess. I will always worship you. Oh yeah. And so when your body soul, the child is delivered because of the pain of delivery. Consciousness is lost in some cases. They forget about everything. They are about the promises they made to the Lord. They had. And then the embodied soul, the little child, is treated like a king or a queen. He's told here and there by the parent. This person comes and kiss his or her cheek, and he feels or she feels. What a wonderful world here. So very easily, the pampering enhances forgetfulness of the Lord. There's no problem with the pampering. But according to Prahlad, he's basically emphasizing that this world is not a comfortable place. And evidently, look, I have gone to practically all the continents of the world, and most of the people I meet, some of my professor friends, they even have 3 PhDs, and they're not happy. They're not happy. So sometimes we think people have so much of wealth, they are going to be happy. Yes, they're happy, but they're not absolutely happy. That is something they still find lacking in their life. And in some cases, they're not able to have that self-diagnosis to figure out what is the gap in my life. In research, we say, if you want to conduct the research, you have to figure out the gap in the literature. What is it that some other scholars have not talked about? We don't accept just repeating something that someone else has said before. What is the gap? What is the value of your research to the management domain? What is something new that you're adding? So people are suffering, they don't know how to fill the gap in their lives. So it is only the devotee who understands, well, I'm not happy because I'm not serving Lord Krishna. And this is the sole reason why we have so many, powerful souls, especially powerful souls in our movement. As I go around, I meet all these guys, and they have all the material facilities in this world. They have the degrees, they have the money. I remember some years ago when I went to presentation at North Carolina Political Science Association annual conference. So when I submitted my my proposal, the president of North Carolina Political Science Association, he accepted my proposal, and then they were expecting me to come. And at some point in time, I wrote to him that, see, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to come for your conference because I'm a priest, I'm a poor guy, I don't have money to come and pay for your registration, for your accommodation, and all this stuff. And then, because he understood a devotee of ISKCON, he said, come, come, come. I'll take care of everything. I'll take care of everything. So he paid for my registration for the conference. This is, sometimes hundreds of dollars. He paid for the accommodation. And so he put me in a suite where one professor, one doctor in political science was in that suite, and then so a very big suite. So I was on the other hand, and he was on the other hand. And then before this guy went to sleep, the president has told him that this guy, this scholar, is a priest. So he told him this is a monk. He had never met a monk before. So he thought, wow, this is a great opportunity. The guy same suit with me. He said, wow. So let me take advantage. So he asked me before he went to sleep, he went to bed. He asked me he called me over to his other corner, and then he asked me some few questions. But these questions about suffering this material. Some people don't have that great fortune of making inquiries about why they are suffering. And here is a PhD in political science. He said, look, I travel all over the world. I'm a consultant to so many governments. But you know what he said? But after meeting you, I realized I don't know anything. You know what he said? In fact, when we dispersed from that conference, he had called me to come to meet with his family. At that time, I was really very busy, so I couldn't. And one of the things he told me on the phone was that, see, in fact, after meeting you, I wanted to even throw away my PhD because I realized I don't know. Then what was it? He asked some questions about his personal life, spiritually oriented questions, and without going to conduct some research or look here and there, I just answered him the simple questions that any devotee in this court can really answer. But for him, it was a big thing. So people are lacking this Krishna consciousness. No, people are lacking the very principle of how they could bridge the gap in their lives. And therefore, we find the suffering that is so much. And basically, it's due to spiritual, my Guru Maharaj, Bhakti Swami will call spiritual bankrupt. People are suffering in this world because we are spiritually bankrupt. And the suffering goes on. It's not that when someone is very opulent, he doesn't suffer. Otherwise, why are the richest people committing suicide? Oh yeah, if you Google the web, go to Google Scholar and check out statistics of, on suicide. You find that even the most richest people are committing suicide. Yes, money gives you some happiness. Don't misquote me. Money gives you some happiness, okay? But not absolute happiness. Even when you have the money, you may still think you are lacking something. And yes, you lack something. And so this devotional life, devotional culture, Prabhupada is emphasizing that there is suffering in this world. Whether we deny it or not, there is suffering. There is old age, there is disease. So, who wants old age? If there is a mall where they're selling, tools for old age, they will have customers. Huh? They will have customers. I doubt. So, but we don't want old age, but old age comes anyway. So intelligent person will want to avoid this type of, more or less like an imposition on our lives, imposition on us. And so the essential factor is that, Prahlad, he gives us a very insightful information how to become lovers of Lord Krishna, beginning with hearing and chanting. And so someone could wonder, but Prahlad is just an exalted devotee. How is it that a demon like Hiranyakasipu gave birth to him? How is that? Prahlad, a great devotee? Yes. Can someone enlighten us on this? Yes.
You want reason?
Why would Prahlad take birth?
Maybe to show the.
Not maybe, just be exact.
Huh?
Be exact, no speculation, just tell me.
I can't quote any reference, but I think I heard someone that because to show that devotees, even in a demonic lineage, power devotion, somebody can become such a good. I find out.
That is true, but it's relative. What is exactly is it? Yeah.
It's ontological. So devotional service, every single person is actually a servant of Krishna. So whether they're in this body, Tanya body, Plant body, and Animal body, everyone is actually a servant.
Thank you. Still a relative truth. Who can add more something there? Yes.
He heard scripture in the womb.
He had scripture in the womb. But for him to have taken shelter of the mother's womb, where he will have to hear night and morning, that is a great assets. So why was that transparent when his mother is the wife of a great demon? It's a great devotee. That is why he took birth in that circumstance. He took shelter of the mother's womb in that circumstance so that he could hear from another morning. That how come that the father is a demon? Yes. Thank you. Krishna's desire. Very good. Still, they are all facts. They are all truth. But they really truth. Yes. Can you also participate? Shared participation. Yes. Say something.
So the question is, why he took birth?
Yeah, he's a great soul. You know why he has to take birth? Through Irangasipu.
I mean, I would probably say, I guess to benefit like humanity and teach us about like multiple service.
Yeah. So these are all factual, realities. But they are all relative. There's no exact point that is made in all of them. But they are real. They are points. They're powerful points. Yeah. Okay. Huh? Yeah, we know Krishna is the cause of all causes. So he arranged that. But why would Krishna arrange that?
Is it really?
No, it's relevant.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So okay, I appreciate your points, and see the whole idea of people coming together to be able to procreate. Let's say, for instance, we want devotees like Prahlad, powerful souls like Prahlad, like especially young people who want to marry, who intend to marry. Yeah, it is.
I remember the story now.
Huh?
Ronnie Krishna's group, when they were popular, he had heard this, before he heard this bird chanting the name of Krishna. So then when he was engaged in that activity, all he could remember was like that bird chanting the name. So when he was engaged in that activity, he was actually thinking of Krishna.
Thank you. That's
No?
a very good point. Yeah, very good point. You're like 95% to the exact point. But thank you. That you're up to that level where we can appreciate that you have heard the story or you've read it. This is in the Srimad Purana, chapter 40, 41, 42, 43. This whole detail is there. Now, when Hiranyakasipu was planning to go to seek for the blessings of Lord Brahma to become immortal, Lord Brahma already knew ahead of time. Hiranyakasipu was prepared his mind to go for austerity, to seek for this boon of immortality. Lord Brahma knew. So Lord Brahma was in anxiety. And now the morning, his best of sons, he knew his father was in anxiety. So the duty of the pure devotees, Paradruka Druki, most equipped to see the suffering of, or the living entities. So now that morning came, tried to rectify the situation, he tried to come to the rescue. And he spoke with, he came to speak with his father, Lord Brahma, that don't worry, I'll take care of the situation. Don't worry, I'll take care of the situation. And so, Hiranyakasipu has told his wife, what's his wife's name? Kayadu. Hiranyaka told his wife that he was going to go to the forest to perform austerity for a long time. He had prepared the wife's mind in that set. So by the time he's gone for his long time austerities, the wife will not be in anxiety. So by then, Hiranyakasipu, before he went to the forest for the austerity, Narada Muni had spoken with his friend, Bhagavatam. He told told Pavata, it briefed Pavata about, in Pavata Muni about what Hiranyakasipu intended to do, and this is the promise he gave to his father. He was going to help her. So he told Pavata Muni, okay, two of us, let's take the form of bears and perch on the tree where under the tree where the Hiranyakasipu was going to be performing his austerities. So Pavata agreed. Good things. So, so they took the form of bears, they perched on the tree, and under that tree, that was exactly where Hiranyakasipu was performing his austerities. So they came there and just to distract Hiranyakasipu, because he hated Vishnu, he hated Narayan. So they were chanting Narayan's name, Om Namo Narayana, Om Namo Narayana, Om Namo Narayana. So Hiranyakasipu was very distracted. People hear the holy names, they feel, inspired and motivated. But Hiranyakasipu, for the demon, he was very disturbed. So it disrupted his austerities. He went home. And so one day, he was having an affair with his wife. And then his wife targeted exact time to extract any information from her husband when they are having sex. So during that time, the wife asked, my dear husband, you told me you'll be going to the forest for a long time for your austerities. What happened? And you came back so fast. And the younger people were recounting how there were two beds on the tree where he was performing his austerities. And these two bells we are chanting, Om Namo Narayana, Om Namo Narayana, Om Namo. And then at that time, we were reciting this, the discharge sem. He was recounting this to the wife. So at that time, he just said, that is how Prahlad was invoked into. So you are you're very, very correct. But this is the full details. And so we see the power of holiness. In our devotional service, it is not required to perform so much of austerities. The only austerity is that we use our vocal cavity, whilst the mouth and the tongue, we use it wisely to vocalize Krishna's holiness. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. And when we do this consistently during the conducive hours of the day, say the Brahma Muhurta hours, that will expedite our process of becoming free from material desires. One cannot just say, well, material desires are not good. All right, I'm free from material desires. No, it doesn't work like that. We have to follow a scientific process of purification. And so that's why the whole of our devotional culture in Kali Yoga is pivot, fundamental principle. The fulcrum is the channel. Why? Because you can perform all type of activities. You can walk throughout the day, to be on the serving deities all throughout the day. But if we don't chant Krishna's names, which is the prescribed dharma for this age, the devotional culture will not be deeply rooted, and we could become distracted when some disturbances arise. Therefore, the whole of this text, praying to Lord Sringadev, that is very important. I remember, when I was still in Nigeria, so I had a terrible accident in 1990. And so when I broke off practically majority of my leg, my pelvic bone was gone, my bladder was ruptured, so many things. So after hospitalization for like 2 months, without eating, lying like this. So after I was discharged from the hospital, I asked Guru Maharaj, I said, so this is situation because I borrowed a minibus, transportation bus. And in fact, that day when the devotees took me to the park, I was going to go to the capital city of that country, Lagos, for a court hearing. We were having a court hearing. Someone tried to steal one of our vehicles, and we got them arrested. So there was a court hearing for that Monday. So I was trying to leave after giving a class in the other temple. So I went to the park and I entered this vehicle. And somehow or the other, I just came out. I came out back. I came down. And I said it, I told the devotees who took me the other. No, I don't want to go with this vehicle. But there was no reason. Just an instinct. But there was also no other vehicle. That was the last vehicle that was leaving that evening. So then I followed this vehicle. It met with an accident, terrible one. So many people died. I found myself among dead bodies. So it means I was dead. Then Krishna threw me into this body again. But the point is that when we are engaged in devotional service, it's a practice that prepares you for the most horrible casualty, death. So I remember when the vehicle skidded up the road and people were shouting. It was rolling like this. And people were shouting. So what triggered my mind, what struck my mind was, oh, my life is finished. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. That was the last thing I knew I did. So Krishna consciousness is very practical. If we practice to chant Krishna's names, he will come to the rescue. He will come for a relief, even at the most vulnerable period. And I was just telling a story the other day in Delaware about this lady in India. She had sponsored Radha Samasunda deities, and Prabhupada was trying to get someone to sponsor those deities. So this lady, she was a prince. She sponsored these deities. And she was not a practitioner of Krishna consciousness, waking up, during the Mahaprama Mota hour to chant or whatever. She just sponsored. And we have people like that who may not be practitioners, but they like to render some service. So she did that. And the time, talking about service, devotion, how powerful this devotional service. At the time that she was to pass away, she told the president of that city, far community, that she wanted the deities, picture of the deities, presiding deities, returned. But then the president had gone practical, like a mystery. He went everywhere looking for the picture of the presiding deities of their temple. He couldn't find a picture, and the ladies are about to leave. That's like she was about to leave the body. That was like one of the last things she was requesting for. Give me a picture of the deity. Give me a picture of it. They couldn't find. But then the president of the temple, he told us this story, Radha. He said that he could only find this picture in his house. Radha Samasunda picture in Vrindavan. So he brought the picture, told this lady, we couldn't find a picture of a presiding deity here. This is the same Krishna and Radha. And then the lady busted out. She said, oh, Krishna, how wonderful. I sponsor these deities, and Krishna now, in my last breath, he has come to me. That's how we may forget what we do for Krishna. Krishna never forgets us. Therefore, we should continue on the path of bhakti, and Krishna will take care of other situations, whether we have material desires. In fact, Krishna mentions, there's a statement in the Bhagavatam, Kama Sarva Kama Ba, Moksha Kama Dara, they said, Forget, don't worry, you are full of material desires. He said to me, you don't have any material desires, come to me. Why? Krishna is Pavitra, is all pure. So he can purify us, no matter our condition states. So the process of hearing the Bhagavatam should be very much encouraged. Why? Nastra payesu abarisu. It helps to pulverize all type of material contaminations on the mirror of the mind. So we have to see how we are fitting our devotional practices, integrating that in our secular activities for those who are working, those who are schooling. There are no excuses. Any comments or questions? Yes.
Class.
Huh? Thank you for thanking me.
So when you're talking about Prahlad and comfort and happiness, I remember this verse from Bhagavatam 7:42. Prahlad Maharaj says, Sukhaya Mokshaya Samkalpaya Karmina Sadatmati Hagatukam Anihaya Sukhaya. He says, in this material world, every materialist desire to achieve happiness and diminishes distress. Actually, no one is happy as long as he does not. As soon as one begins his activities for happiness, his conditions of distress.
Yes, so this is, would I say, the beauty of the material world? We don't feel comfortable. Ultimately, we don't feel comfortable. Whatever we may have, we find that we think we still lack something, stillness. And even we have all of the assets, we're not happy. So yeah, desires. And this is sometimes people think, but how can I become desireless? Desireless implies giving up material desires. Someone was just asking me the other day, I think that was in India, and he said, you say that, devotional service should be free from desires, no expectations, just render service, no expectations. But you people are also having expectations. You're performing a devotional service so that you can be freed from this prison of material existence to go back home, back to God. Isn't that an expectation? I said, yeah, that's an expectation, but it's a spiritual expectation. So it's not that we become void. No. Yeah. Thank you for that. Any other comments or questions? You have 10 minutes. Yes.
So we want to avoid from void.
What?
We want to
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yes. Yes, you wanted to ask some question? Marigo, you wanted to ask something?
Yeah, I was reflecting on my notes. Yeah, I was appreciating the point that you made emotional service prepared for the most horrible causality, which is death. And yeah, just appreciating also that we may forget Krishna, but Krishna never forgets us. That's reassuring.
That's right.
Same thing.
Thank you.
Yeah, I have a question. But yeah, you're mentioning the austerity. Yeah, the austerity in this age is to chant the holy names. So is it possible to become fully purified without in the present condition of the world? Is it possible to become fully purified with sufficient congregational hearing and chanting?
Congregational hearing and chanting, that is the Dharma of this age. Lord Chaitanya inaugurated the Sankirtan movement. Means congregational chanting, coming together to chant. So that is our job. That's the job prescription. If you secure a job, that's a job prescription. Things you have to do as an employee in that capacity. So in our capacity as aspiring devotees or as devotees, our job prescription is that we have to chant the holy names of the Lord. We have to come together to chant the holy names of the Lord. Why? To purify the whole environment. Now, if you want to do it individually to purify yourself, then the japa comes. Of course, the japa is imperative because when you have to go to work, for instance, you need to eat. You need to take something. If even it's just some, decaffeinated tea, you need to take something to give you some type of strength. If you say you want to fast every day to go to work, you may not be very functional. You may be deficient because you need energy to be able to operate in your job or on your job. So allows us to be able to operate functionally to discharge our dharma, our yoga dharma, the congregational chanting, going to the street to distribute the body. Is the japa. The japa is food for the spirit. That sustains, that gives us the energy, that gives us the motivation, impetus to go out and distribute the body. When we stop the japa, it becomes even a problem to do services. Because the japa is the fuel, the burning fuel of the car. The fuel, the gas for moving the car. Yeah. The gas for moving the car. Yeah, so sometimes people neglect the japa and they run into problems. Yeah. I've seen for the 40 years I've been in this movement, I've seen when some devotees, they are self pujaris, they work so hard. They work so hard, especially during festival occasions. They work so hard. And so I remember when I was in Toronto with some of these brahmacharis from India. And then, one day, so I think it was Janmashtami, and next day was Prabhupada's appearance. So, and I noticed this pujari was working so hard. So the next day, I just spoke him. I said, hey, such and such, did you chant your rounds yesterday? Did you finish your rounds yesterday? He said, oh, Vasudeva, what's wrong with you? You saw me working all through the day. I said, but you to get back from your Guru Maharaj, I have to chant at least 16 rounds. And so sometimes we tend to neglect the fundamental objectivity. When we sign a contract, for instance, with the spiritual master, and I tell my disciples all this stuff that look, if you are not going to be able to sustain your vow, anytime you break your vow, our relationship is broken. Yeah. Because those are the terms of contract. Those are the terms of the spiritual contract. In law, when you break any terms of the contract, the other partner could sue for dissolution of the contract because you don't keep up with your expectations. We have expectations. And when these expectations are very good, because if we keep these expectations, Prabhupada will arrange every way possible for us to have ingress into the spiritual. You will personally arrange for that embodied soul to have access to the spiritual. So this movement is not an ordinary movement. Golokera Premadan, Harinam Sankirtan. It's an import from the spiritual world, okay? It's an import from the spiritual world. That is why you see so many. I was in India for like 3 years, 7 months. And last 2 months, 2 years, 7 months, I was based in Mayapur. And I go to Calcutta most times for academic and corporate preaching activity. In Calcutta, the temple where I used to stay, it's a small temple. in the most expensive area of Calcutta. It's called New Harlem. And in that temple, the president is a scientist. His wife is an ophthalmologist. The vice president is a scientist. The cook is a scientist. These are all PhDs. So if they don't find a value for this movement, will they sacrifice their lives for this system, even under acquiring those high profile skills? Yeah. So I remember when I was in India, I went to one conference, and then one of the professors, he said, "Dr. Das, what the hell you doing? You have a PhD in management science, and all you can do is to become a Swami?" Yeah. So I looked at him and asked him, "Hey, Dr. So, are you happy? Are you happy in your life?" Yeah. So, yeah, we have to understand what is going around, what is going on, so that we take a big step forward towards consolidating our spiritual life. Because so many people are taking to this process, and they've seen in and out of the world, and there's nothing there. People have money, and money does not give them sustainable happiness. Yes, don't say money, you don't need money. Don't, because you're a devotee and then you embrace poverty. No, don't embrace poverty and say, well, I'm a devotee, so we don't really need to work so hard. No, we should work so hard. My Guru Maharaj forced me to go get a PhD. I remember when I was younger in Nigeria, so he had asked me to go and preach to professors. And then, I surprised him. I excelled so much in that project that he was shocked. And he said, Vasudeva, just go get a PhD. Yeah. But I have seen how, he has what we call strategic thinking, a great foresight. Vasudeva analyzes you, he sees your potentials and engages you accordingly. That is what we call a management science, talent management. Leaders need that. All right. Bhagavatam ki jai.
So in Vasudeva,